Hi everybody! Last time we have learned something about the non-oilen's properties, so today we can have a look at the handling the waste. According to the principles of circular economy and zero waste hierarchy, the first preferred option is the recycling. So you can start with the box where you can mark the non-oilen waste, and you can put there every unused filament, every broken object, every unfinished object, also the parts like skirts or support. And once the box is full, you can contact us or your distributor. Once it will arrive at Fillamentum, all of this will be shredded and crushed into little pieces, and new pellets will be extruded, so it can be reused for the filaments, or it can be also optimized for injection molding process or melt blown technology, where the films and foils and bags are created, so it can be reused in other fields too. During the recycling process, there is always a little bit of reduction, but the temperature resistance and the processing temperature and chemical resistance are the same. The only little reduction is in the elongation at break during the tensile test, but the tensile strength is very similar. So the second preferred option according to zero waste hierarchy is composting. Material can be classified as compostable if it fulfills specific requirements. It means disintegration from 90%, disintegration into particles smaller than 2 millimeters, and within 60 days in industrial compost, 90 days in home compost, and 1 year in soil. Your non-oilen waste can be disposed into bio-waste. It means it will get into the industrial compost, or you can buy electric composter, which is a device for the kitchen waste. There are many parameters that influence the composting. First of all is the temperature. The lower temperature of compost, the longer decomposition. But it is also important to mix the compost to ensure the certain level, because if the temperature increases, it may kill the bacteria. Another is the humidity. The moisture level must be at 55%. Another is the composition of the compost. It means that it must be diverse. You can't just put there only grass, but you also need to add some clay or soil. Fourth parameter is the microorganisms. According to the type of compost, there are different bacteria, there are also yeasts and molds, but also it may be active due to worms in vermicomposter. And the last thing, very important, is the geometry of the object that are in the compost. It means that if you put there some big object, it will last very long time to decompose it. It is similar to tree branch, because if you put the whole branch in it, it will take longer time. So it needs to be crushed into small pieces that can offer large area where the bacteria can start decomposition. Non-oilen material was tested in the form of the foils and pieces of cup, because it has different geometry. First tests were according to ISO 20200 to prove that the material can disintegrate into particles smaller than 2 millimeters. It was proven in the laboratory, but also in real conditions. The real industrial compost it takes 90 days to disintegrate. Also in electric composter, it takes about 90 days. To prove that no microplastics remain in these real conditions, it was tested via the mineralization. It means that the carbon that is contained in the polymer chain is processed by bacteria into evolved CO2. It was measured that 100% of CO2 was released by bacteria within 90 days in industrial compost and also within 120 days in home compost. It means that this material can be biodegraded also in home compost in 100%. But depending on many parameters, this material will degrade after a longer time. It means that you can put your non-oilen waste into your home compost, but it will degrade after 150 days or longer. If you want to join our project, you can try it on your own, take some pictures and send us the results. It is due to different process of the biodegradation in the compost. If we compare PLA and PHB that are contained in this material, the PLA standardly decomposes by enzymatic hydrolysis. It means that it needs certain temperature, moisture and certain enzyme to be biodegraded. On the other hand, PHB, it is a natural part of the biochemistry of the cell. It can be metabolized by standard process. The non-oilen material is specifically prepared to be biodegraded, that the bacteria will start with the PHB, but they can continue devouring of the PLA without even noticing. They don't recognize that suddenly they eat some different polymer. So the rest contains the spool, which is made of recycled polypropylene, and it can be recycled again. It has the specific gray color to be well separated on the sorting line. We have also the bag that is created from the plastic coated with the aluminum, so it can be also thrown into plastic waste. It contains also silica gel, which can be re-dried and reused, and the paper box is made of recycled paper and it can be recycled again. So this is all from me. If you have some questions, you can write us on help desk or write us in comments of this video. If you liked it, you can subscribe to our channel and follow us on the social medias. Next section will be with Martin, our 3D printing specialist. Thank you for watching and goodbye.